Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Pabs, a Ricing VTuber and an artist, and today we're going to be kind of picking up where we left off yesterday, where we are drawing some fan art for Valhalla. Now, we had a pretty strong start yesterday, which I'm very pleased with, but hopefully we can get it done today. I've been trying to keep these streams like in a certain time range. I think it's best for my energy and all that, but for the moment we won't worry about that, and we'll just try to keep doing what we normally do. So let's head on over to the working screen. Whee! I love teleporting around like this, it feels so fun. I'm over here. Now I'm over here. Oh wait, I went off screen. I ran a little too fast. Went a little too fast. Hey Ben, how's it going? Alright, so where we left off yesterday was that we had just finished the line art for Jill, and we had the kind of mock-up for like this kind of color spill coming out of the... I had this exact same conversation yesterday. This kind of martini shaker. I'm just gonna call it a martini shaker. I feel like that's the best. Hi Paps, toss yourself aside like a sack of rice. Oh, the irony, am I right? Toss aside like a common bag of rice. Alright. So I think the way that we're gonna do this is probably first figure out how to make the cup and the shaker bottle. Shaker cap. That's probably what it's called, right? Like a cap or something. Anyway, I'm guessing. Okay, yeah. So we'll need the cap on a different layer because I'm hoping to do some stuff with it what do you call it? Like a foreshorten? Not even foreshortening. It's not foreshortening because it's not like... Foreshortening implies that because of perspective, it is being... How do you call it? Because of perspective, it is being shortened. That's why it's called foreshortening. You know, stuff that's closer to you looks shorter than stuff that's farther away from you. This would be more like a motion blur. I guess it's also got to do with perspective, though. I don't know. I'm sure there's a technical word for it, but I don't know that. I don't know about that. Let's see. Hide away the ruler. Okay. Oh yeah. The other day I realized that Gorillaz had released a new song. I think it was called like Cracker Island. And I didn't know that Murdoch was back. I still thought we had that mofo from the Powerpuff Girls, just kind of like filling in the group's role of being green and kind of an asshole. If you don't know much about Gorillaz, I don't know if it's the Gorillaz. I think it's just Gorillaz. Gorillaz with a C. They are a music band for the UK. Technically, also VTubers, I guess. No, I don't know if they've done like streams where they've talked and been... I think I've talked about this before. I'm not sure if they qualify as VTubers because even though they do have virtual personalities, they have virtual characters representing them. I think it's just two guys. I think it's one dude called Damon Albarn and some other dude, and like, whoever else is kind of helping him out making music. But I've listened to many Gorillaz songs, but I don't know anything about the lore. That's for the best, honestly. Are they not more akin to a Hatsune Miku? I mean, no. I feel like that's a false equivalence because Hatsune Miku is a music program. Also, she is real. Like, she's a real person. I'm kidding about that. She's not actually a real person. No, I shouldn't say that. That's hurtful. But Hatsune Miku is a voice synthesizing program. She isn't supposed to have like a flesh and blood counterpart. I guess they'd be like, I think they were called like a virtual band in the Wikipedia article. So I don't know. Is that the same thing as being a VTuber? I don't think it is. Anyway, they are a British band that... Okay, so the lore behind Gorillaz is that they are a band. Much like their real selves, they are a band. But the kind of main difference is that while the real band is made of flesh and blood humans, the virtual band is made out of cartoon characters. And okay, so there are a couple of different characters, but the main ones the one that I'm talking about here is two dudes, one called Murdoch and the other called Ace. Now Murdoch was like an original dude from when the band was founded. He's been around since the very beginning in this lore. He is a complete monster. He is abusive, he is mean, he is responsible for a lot of bad stuff that happens in the lore. He is just kind of a tool. During one of the lore phases, I think, they break the lore down into like different tiny arcs per album. You talking about me? Hi, Leo. No. I'm talking about that dude Murdoch from Gorillaz. Hey, Leo, what's your take? Are the Gorillaz VTubers? I feel like they aren't. I feel like they could qualify, but they're not. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, this dude no. Okay, so we have one on the side of no. Anyway, so Murdoch is a complete asshole, and he is such a complete asshole that he got sent to prison during one of the lore arcs. And instead of saying like, oh yeah, they just got like another, like, instead of doing literally anything else to kind of excuse why they have a Bashist still, the way that they said that they still had a Bashist was that they got a character from the Powerpuff Girls called Ace, and now he's playing the bass for the band. All I remember about Murdoch is his fucking radioactive piss from their Crypt tour. I didn't know that he had radioactive piss. That's a new one for me. But essentially, there was a dude in this fake band. This fake band that is very much real. There was a fake dude from this real band who was so much of a bastard that they decided to replace him with a dude from the Powerpuff Girls. But apparently they brought him back. Like, the dude from the Powerpuff Girls was there for like one song, and then then they just brought back the green guy. Which is really funny. The thing is, right, Murdoch is also like, the thing about Murdoch is after like the very first kind of arcs of the band, he has this very green tint to his skin. I think it had like something to do with like, I don't know if it was radioactivity. It might be radioactivity, but he just has green skin. So it's very funny to me that they got this bassist. They got this bassist who went to prison and were like, okay, we need another dude who is also green and can play the bass. Let's get this dude from the Powerpuff Girls on the horn. Let's see if he wants to roll with us. Anyway, I didn't know that I didn't know that the original Bashist had returned in terms of the lore. I thought it was just the same green dude from the Powerpuff Girls again. It was extremely weird. I really do like the new music video though. It sounds very fun. It's got a very good sound to it. I like the kind of EDM influences. Let's see, here we go. Oh yeah, speaking from things that are even older than I am. Did you guys know that Jazzercise is still around? Yeah, apparently they've started making Jazzercise on demand. Didn't they also get into NFTs? It's very possible. It's extremely possible that they got into NFTs. It is? Yeah, wait. Okay, by NFTs, do you mean that Jazzercise got into NFTs or that the Gorillaz got into NFTs? You look like you would do Jazzercise. Funny story about that, which is I was leading into. I've never done Jazzercise. I've never done like Zumba or anything like that. But what I have done is this training video by Billy Blanks called Table. I don't remember what the name comes from. I think it might be combination of boxing and taekwondo because of the kicks, but it's essentially jazzercise, but it's not even jazzercise, it's just like a workout routine. I've never done jazzercise, but I did buy a DVD of Tabo from Goodwill with Billy Blanks. You have big old auntie energy. You look like you would do Zumba. Listen, my actually, believe it or not, my favorite way of exercising isn't actually martial arts, it's swimming. But I haven't been to a swimming pool in years and years. On account of, well, first, there's just no swimming pools out here. And second of all, when I did find a swimming pool, it was already when the coronavirus was around. And I'm pretty sure that water and respiratory diseases don't mix. Alright, simplify vector line. There we go. We need to simplify it more. You gotta head to a beach. Same horse, different saddle, honestly, because, like, even at a beach, Pablo lost at sea. Girl, help, I'm drifting out to sea. Whoa. I don't think I meant to simplify it that much. Hang on. Just like DJ Khaled. Wait, what? Was DJ Khaled lost at sea for a bit? I've never heard of this. That would be kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, that would be kind of funny if DJ Khaled was lost at sea for a little bit. But yeah, lost at sea, huh? Man, I would not make it on like a friggin' pirate ship or something. I think he got lost at sea on like a jet ski for several days a couple of days ago. That is... Whoa. Man. First of all, getting lost at sea is never a cool thing, but getting lost at sea on a jet ski must fucking suck. Oh my god, that's awful. I can't believe he died. I don't think he's dead. Yeah, Leo, I don't think he's dead. He Snapchatted the whole thing? Are you fucking kidding? You're fucking with me. No. If he could Snapchat the whole thing... Wait. Wait, no. Hang on. Something here is not adding up. If he could Snapchat the whole thing, why didn't they rescue him? Was he just like, nah, I don't want to be rescued. Leave me out here for a little while. Buddy, that's the only reason I remember it. Oh my god. Really don't know how to feel about that. Oh my god, that's a lot. Okay, it was several hours, not days. My bad. Oh, this just gets better and better. Yeah, breaking news. Okay. I need to calm down. This is so much. Okay. That is... There's a story about a couple who got locked in their closet for 3 days. Well, I don't... Alright, locked in their closet, so... Fucking... If you get locked in... Okay, unless your closet has fucking metal doors like a goddamn bank vault, I don't respect you not being able to escape your closet. Like... Them shit's made out of the cheapest wood you can imagine. They had their phone with them and didn't bother checking to see that the door was obviously unlocked. You're kidding me, right? That's so... That's really unfortunate for them. Who wouldn't jump at the chance to destroy a closet door? My thoughts, exactly! Like, come on. You cannot tell me that you've seen the cheap-ass laminated wood of a closet at an IKEA, at a hotel, at your own home, and not thought to yourself, if I went full power for just 1 minute, 1 day of my life, if I just gave it my entire every fiber in my nervous system and just beat the shit out of that door, I could break it down like an action movie. If you say that you have not had that thought at least once in your life, I do not believe you. Okay, I would actually believe you. It's kind of a niche... I don't know how many people are going around wishing they could break down closet doors. I don't know how common that is as a fantasy. I mean, I know I've had that. I've had that thought. I have seen like just how flimsy the wood on some doors is, and been like, I could definitely like if I just like crashed through it through a perhaps wanting to destroy things is a niche. Yeah. Now I'm telling you, just like get like dudes who can break stuff to junkyards and such, and just let them beat the shit out of whatever's there, and just break it down into more smaller component pieces. That should be a viable career opportunity, part-time job, anything. I think sometimes you just gotta play the old physical instrument, you know? I need to adjust line width here. Man, why is drawing cups so hard? This is taking me like much longer than I expected it would. Okay, and then thicken this line here. Drawing circles is hard. As everybody knows, cylinders are just long circles, ergo drawing a cup is hard. Huh. Your use of inductive logic disturbs me, but yet I cannot bring myself to have a single argument against it. I think that is what that is, right? It's like if A equals B and B equals C, therefore A equals C. Just fucking use the circle tool, change the perspective, duplicate or bottom, and then add 2 straight lines, fool. Huh. That's a good idea, I should do that. Let me try that. Cannot think of anything harder to draw than a sphere. That's... yeah, I could see that. Let's see. Okay, then look it like this. Copy and paste it, make it smaller. Make smooth bigger. Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay, thanks, Leo. You know, that looks much better. Yeah, there we go. Okay, that should do it. And then for the other side, we can just copy and paste the same thing. Yeah, I'm not used to thinking of things in terms of shapes and such, so sometimes I have a harder time being as efficient as I can be. In other words, I just tend to brute force a lot of stuff these days. I'm glad I have you around. Okay, and then just take this out. Take this out. Take this out. Perfect. Just like the closet doors. Fuck, you got me there. Certainly you've got me there. Anyway, I can redraw this line width here. Even thinner. There we go. Whew, okay. And then, okay, from here, how are we doing this? Oh man. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have to name these because otherwise I'm gonna lose track of them. Okay, so cup. This is the lid. And this is the Jill. Okay, so we're gonna need to do it like so. So Jill will be on top of, above the cup. The lid will be above Jill. And between the cup... okay, beneath the cup, there's gonna have to be a little bit of... hang on, where... how do I... okay... hang on, I gotta get rid of this part here. There's art advice going around nowadays teaching people to block shapes for a better seal on net. For a better what? Seal on net? Seals aren't supposed to go in nets, those are supposed to catch fish. Seal on net. Seal on net. Seal on net? Sail on it. Sail on it? For a better seal on it? Oh, better seal on it. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I should try to learn to do that. The thing is, right? I have these. All these primitives and such from Seer on it. He's talking about grilling. Yeah. Seed on it. He's talking about musical chairs. Oh, silhouette. Oh, oh my god. I am talking grill and yeah! Yeah! Okay. Anyway. Woo, get alone, hog dog. Nothing beats a man in his own grill. Wrong. Many men and a grill. Nothing beats grilling with the boys. A nice little steak cookout with just you and the lads. Grilling by yourself is far too lonely. Why are we beating men? Well, because I'm a feminist. That's kind of gay, and I'm all about it. Good, good. Alright. Anyway, okay, so there's Jill, there's a cup, okay, cup fill. You ever met a man? I've heard of them. I've read about them in books. I know about men in theory. Let's see. Let's see. Wrong, Kazuma Kiryu. Okay, let's see. Should I fill Jill in first? Maybe. Yeah, I probably should. At least with the flats. I need to fill in at least the flats first. Okay, so where's Jill's portrait? It's around here somewhere, isn't it? Ah, there she is. Okay, so the hair has like this okay, what is that? Like purple? Why is she purple? Okay, let's see. So alright, need to use the mullet pen for these so I don't get any, like... Do I still have this set to anti-alias thing? I guess it doesn't matter either way, does it? Let's see. And from there... Oh, hydrate, thank you! Took a little sippy. Okay, then from there... Okay. Okay, I guess... Okay, I think the rational thing to do would be to have the hair ties be kind of black. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, I don't see Jill wearing like colorful hair ties. Okay, that was a struggle to say. Why did that one take so much effort? Colorful hair ties. Colorful hair ties. Colorful hair ties. That's not even. Maybe that is a tongue twister. I don't know. I never knew too much about tongue twisters. They always seemed like particularly stupid to me. Hair ties. Yeah, I don't know why, but I've always thought of tongue twisters as like a very, I think it's to show off that you can speak quickly without getting tripped up over your own words. Good warm-up for singing. I guess. But wouldn't it be a better warm-up to just practice the song that you're about to sing? Or enunciating, but who cares about doing that? I think that's kind of a... Yeah, I think that's where I kind of missed the idea of it. I think a lot of people do... What do you call it? Okay, wait, now Jill is French, or half French at least, so... Okay. Anyway, I know that people use it for enunciation, but the thing is, I've never really had a problem with enunciation, I don't think. Or, I mean, I guess I do sometimes, but it's not enough that I have to worry about it. I don't know. Tongue twisters have always just seemed very unnecessary. I guess it is to just show that your like, linguistic skills are dexterous enough to do that, but I don't know. I've just never found the appeal in them. Something you can't do. Yeah, I guess that's also a factor of it. I find them very frustrating. It's for silliness. I guess that's true as well. Like seashell. Holy moly! I messed that one up on the first try. Seashell. Yeah, no, that one's not good. Okay. I think the concept of tongue twisters itself heard me talking smack and decided that I just no longer got to do them anymore. She crashed for the first syllable, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. She sells seashells by the seashore. Boom. Fuck you, linguistics. She sells seashells by the seashore. But the prices of these shells will fall. Oh, I missed a spot up here. Okay, okay, this one here too. God, I love that weird Monopoly song. It's a real banger, isn't it? I remember seeing one on Tumblr going around where it had a girl from that Pretty Cure. What was capitalist critique? What was it going for? I think it was just out here to have a good time. But I remember seeing a variant of it on Tumblr where the kind of character that was kind of lip synced to it was this character from Precure. Yeah, Laura from Tropical Rouge Pretty Cure. I've been meaning to watch Tropical Rouge. I feel like it's a good kind of jumping on point for Pretty Cure because I've been trying to figure out it's not even I don't even need a good jumping on point. It's more that I just need to will myself to watch a Pretty Cure season. I remember somebody recommended Happiness Charge to me because there was a girl in it who also loved rice, and I'm like she's just like me for real. I know she also sang a song about how much she loves rice. Definitely go for whatever appeals to you. That's true. I think that is much more appropriate. That it's a much better way of doing it than trying to keep stuff on brand. On the other hand, if I think of it as doing something to be on brand, I could probably get through it faster because then I have kind of an obligation. Interesting. Using my own overinflated sense of responsibility against me. Okay, that's not working. Brand obligations to watch television. Yeah. I see it more like pride. That's true. I guess it is some. I guess it could be a little bit of both, right? It's like it's both pride and a sense of obligation and responsibility. You gotta determine who the best rice lover is. That's right. This town ain't. This town is exactly big enough for 2 rice lovers, but we gotta determine who's number 1. Okay. Her weird apron vest thing that I got confused about last time is still vexing me, but it seems to be almost the same color as her hair, which is interesting. Would her skirt be kind of a similar color? I think it would be. Matchy matchy. There we go. Yeah, I think a white shirt fits it better. I think this just has kind of like an orange tone to it. You know, I think this is the lighting more than anything making it look orange. Also, she has some kind of weird turtleneck thing. I imagine this is like some kind of thermal underwear, right? It is supposed to take place during winter, so it would make sense that it's like some kind of thermal undershirt. There we go. Then gotta have the kind of brown tights. Even inside though, that's too hot for me. I don't know. Well, the thing is, you can't exactly take it off once you've put it on, at least not without ducking into a bathroom to preserve your modesty. I mean, you can, but you know, preserving your modesty. It's very difficult to take off thermal underwear while also preserving your modesty in public. Yeah. I mean, I know that when I wear like thermal shirts and such as underwear, it doesn't actually bother me once I get inside, because I think rather than isn't it just a thin turtleneck underneath a shirt though? I have to doubt that. I'm afraid. Yeah, I don't think it's a thin turtleneck. I mean, really though, that is kind of what thermal shirts are though. They're just thin turtlenecks. What's the difference? I used to dress like that when I worked. Huh, interesting. Okay. Then like here. Huh. Yeah, I've never tried wearing sweaters under a shirt. Although, like I said, thin turtleneck could just be thermal shirting. Or, you know, I think they could be swapped interchangeably, you know. What is a thermal shirt if not a particularly thin turtleneck? You know, you have to maintain a broad mind about these things. Okay, and here, here, and here. God, I wish I wish I was a bartender. Yeah, Valhalla is 100% bartender propaganda. If you become a bartender, I doubt it'll be, you know, even though Jill had some bad nights, I think it's gonna be even less fun than advertised. I wish I was just sexy. My man. Crewneck sweaters are so nice over uniforms. Yeah, wearing a sweater over a shirt I can get. I've done that a couple times. God, I remember that. Okay, this is actually making me laugh. Remember it. So I got the current job that the job that I'm holding right now is something that I actually really enjoy doing, and I got it. I got the job during sometime earlier this year in January. You know, that's when I had the interview. That's when the whole kind of like interview thing happened. But the thing is, when I did the interview, either of you ever got into that trend where you wear a t-shirt over a long sleeve? Unfortunately, it was too hot where I lived to do that. I tried to do it a couple times, but it was just like, nah, too bothersome. Feeling trendy, but also 12. But yeah, anyway, I did the interview for the job that I currently hold at my parents' house, and I didn't bring over any shirts because I wasn't expecting to do job interviews there. You know, first of all, because my parents don't live where I live, so any job interview I figured would have been, you know, I didn't have plans to do job interviews, but this suddenly just landed on me, and I was like, okay, this job looks really good. I need a shirt. And the problem is that I am like way bigger than my, well, not way bigger, but I am slightly bigger than my dad, so I couldn't just borrow one of his shirts. And I didn't bring any shirts from my kind of current closet. So what ended up happening is that I used an old shirt that I'd left with my parents that couldn't exactly, like, it looked very, very bad on me. But then I just wore what was essentially a Walmart crew sweater over the shirt, so that you can see the shirt underneath, and it just looked like I was wearing a normal shirt with a sweater over it. And I did both interviews, the first interview and the follow-up interview. I did both interviews in that mess of a combination. Yeah, borrowing a nice collar. Yeah, I got one of my old shirts. I got this thermal crew neck from Walmart that I brought over because it's very comfy, and I just like did both interviews, the initial interview and the follow up interview with those shirts on, and I got the job, which is a miracle kind of in and unto itself. But yeah, that's possibly the worst experience I've ever had trying to, like, I don't know, just wear a shirt. That's definitely the most messed up combo that I've had to deal with for any reason. Yeah, you know, I talk a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, I still did get the job, so... So really, who here... Who could say that I truly lost something? Yeah, it really is weird. Like it felt like almost like a perfect storm of coincidences that I got this job, but I'm grateful for every single one of them. Everyone won in this scenario. Company got a nice guy, you got a nice job, and my parents got to watch me squirm in my seat. No, they were cheering for me. My parents really supported me during that time, so you know, it was nice. Hey, that's a nice emote you got there. I like how smug it looks. Yeah. Leo makes such nice emotes. Alright. Then... Okay, something about this eye color is bothering me, so I think I'm gonna try to use like a pinkish red. No, that's definitely worse. How about this? That's hardly different, but I think it's different enough, you know? There we go. Okay, that's the Jill Flats done, except for her teeth. Yeah, that's the other thing that bothers me about friggin' anti-alias artists. The fact that sometimes the lines don't quite seal properly, at least not the way that I do them. I'm on mobile, I couldn't use the tired duck. Well, that happens sometimes. There we go. And maybe with a little bit of color changing. Yeah, okay. I think this is like a nice balance of colors. I should take I should take a drink of water. Okay, so that's a Jill Flats done. How are we for time? About half an hour in? Nice. Okay. Man, it's very strange. Every now and again, it just like says "Welcome to the chat room" on my OBS. I wonder if that means like it's just hiccuping or something. I hope that's not like bothering. I don't know if that's resulting in any feedback for y'all. Everything's going okay on my end? Okay, cool. Good to know. That's what's important. I just want to make sure that's kind of a seamless experience. Everything else is secondary. Okay, then from there, now we may begin the ritual. Okay, so that's gonna be like around here. Okay. So I think the first thing to do is to get this kind of Nintendo Switch cyan looking color. And then just go real ham with it. I don't know, I'm kind of hearing this talking rice sack, and it's pretty weird. No, that's normal. That's actually a feature, not a bug. Yeah. So fun fact, I did manage. I got really heated one night over the injustices of the world, and what ended up happening is that I may or may not have accidentally hacked into Twitch headquarters with one of those like talking computers that they give you when you're a kid. Pro tip: add some rice ASMR to your streams. Actually, I have been thinking of incorporating. There is this like free sound website that had a sound for a boiling kettle, which I figured I could maybe like use as a sound effect for like to imitate a rice cooker. So I've been meaning to try to add that in as like a sound thing, but I'm not sure for what and for what context. I need to increase the production values of my stream. I feel like while it's decent enough, it can be so much more. I don't know about that. I don't know, I feel like my voice would be decent for ASMR. You know, not too... They got sound redeems if you want that. Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay, so then... This is gonna be over here. Or once you can pay bits for sounds. Yeah, I'm not interested in, like, making any bid redeems. Mainly because I do have a day job. And while it'd be nice to monetize my streams, I feel like that'll become hell for me down the line when I have to do my taxes. You've got a nice voice. Oh, thank you. That means a lot, thank you. But yeah, like I said, of course it's everybody... A lot of people go into streaming and VTubing and all these other kind of, you know, being on Twitch kind of things with a goal or perhaps a dream in mind that they'll be able to monetize it and be able to do it as a full-time gig one day. But I have a nice day job and I don't want to have my taxes be any more complicated than they have to be. New accounting technique, hell on taxes. Listen, I've studied accounting. Taxes are hell on you. Theoretically, I have... Within this time next year, I will have done around 3 courses on tax, and I promise you, I pinky promise you, swear across my heart, I will have come no closer to knowing what the fuck they're talking about in taxes than I do now. Yeah. Government technique, hell on citizens. Yeah, taxes, yeah. Yeah, I want to pit two people I want to pit one of those like ultra right-wing dudes who doesn't want to pay taxes because he thinks his tax money is like funding vaccines or something, versus a dude who evades taxes just because he thinks it's funny. I want to see them fight it out. I want to see what happens if you put two of them if you lock the two of them in a room together. Yeah, here's a new type of guy that evades his taxes for the sport of it, for the thrill of it. You know, just as a little prank. I feel like I just described like. I feel like the latter one describes that crazy red dude from Animal Crossing. I've never played any of the Animal Crossing. Well, no, I've played technically 2 Animal Crossing games. I got the Wii copy of the guy who evades taxes like children attempting to Naruto run. Wee, my arms are backwards. I'm zigzagging. Yeah. I've played 2 Animal Crossing games. I played Wild World and I've played City Folk. I got to enjoy almost neither of them. City Folk because it stopped running on my Wii like the moment I got it. Like I managed to play it for half an hour and then it just stopped running on the Wii. And I stopped playing Wild World because I found out that I don't actually like Animal Crossing games. Which, you know, it happens, but it's still kind of weird. Yeah, new guy who thinks that evading taxes works like trying to evade like knives. How can games do that? Just choose to not work. It happens at least to me more often than you'd think because, okay, so the Nintendo Wii had a very odd quirk where it kind of midway through its life, I think it had some kind of weird hardware upgrade that got integrated into the discs. Essentially, the disc reader there are certain discs that are made in such a way that they can store more data. So, for example, ones like the Metroid Prime trilogy for the Wii, I know that one's made on one of those special discs. And your Wii needs to be of a later batch of the production in order to read those. I think, and that's what I understood from a lot of the Reddit posts that I was reading. This actually did bother me, and I did try to fix it, but unfortunately, no such luck. Anyway, from what I understand, it is kind of a thing where it was like your hardware. You know, I think your certain disc readers on the Wii weren't able, like from the first generation of Wiis, just weren't able to read these kind of fancier discs. So that's kind of what happened. Dang, that sucks. Yeah. I had a similar experience trying to run the Sims 3 on my computer. Fun fact, I learned the hard way that apparently the Sims 3 not only now connects to at least 3 discredited programs. I don't think it's called discredited. Depreciated? I think depreciated might be the right word. So it connected to Adobe Flash, it connected to Internet Explorer, and it connected to this thing called like Netscape 3.5. And all 3 of those are... yeah, they're just guys who don't exist no more. They don't make them like this anymore. And the ones that they did make like this can't run anymore on modern computers. Not unless Adobe decides to start being really cool and brings back Flash for some reason. I don't know why Adobe did shut down Flash is the thing. I guess it's because it wasn't generating enough money. I know that, generally speaking, people don't cancel services unless they're actively losing money. Yeah, the thing is, right, even if you have this enormous operation that's only earning you like $15 or something per year, security reasons allegedly. Huh, weird. That would make sense though. That makes sense because like it was only 13 years ago. Why did they choose IE and Netscape? It can't have been 13 years ago. It's way longer now. When did The Sims 3 release? Hang on, I gotta look this up now or else this will bug me. Uh, 2009. Okay, so yeah, 13 years ago. I should never have doubted you. But Netscape, Okay, so I think Netscape was to do some online stuff, and Internet Explorer is just extremely reliable because it comes on every Windows computer ever. So I think those were the reasons why. And Adobe Flash because I think they had a Flash animation play when you started up the game. I think those were the primary reasons given. Or from what I understood, that's why they chose the programs they chose. I mean, who could have foreseen Adobe Flash dying? I mean, I don't think anybody could... Well, no, that's a lie. I think plenty of people could have foreseen Internet Explorer dying. May their memory be a blessing, but I think a lot of people could have foreseen Internet Explorer dying. But probably not Adobe Flash, I think. I think you're right in that regard. Okay, then over here. Perfect. Kind of like this, I think. But yeah, the thing is, right? Although it is tragic, it also pissed me off when I first encountered it, because in theory it was completely avoidable. It's because EA insists on having like online connectivity for literally everything that we were in this mess to begin with. And by we, I just mean me. Let's see. There we go. I should drink some water. But yeah, that's kind of what irked me the most about The Sims 3 not being playable anymore. Because in theory, it would have been perfectly playable if they just like not had that kind of like, or compress it into a GIF or something, you know, that opening movie, or they could have just had online connectivity be an optional thing, or be on the EA's own servers, or have some other kind of support. But no, they had to, you know, they kind of leaned on what was already there. Who would have known rendering this would make you thirsty? Yeah, in retrospect, that should have been obvious. Okay. I will say that actually, after playing Valhalla, I did get the urge to buy another bottle of bourbon. I've only ever had one thing of alcohol in my house ever, and that was a bottle of bourbon, which I bought so I could make a special marinade for my meals. I ended up drinking a little bit of it here and there, you know, with a little bit of Coke, and it ended up tasting pretty good. But you know, it's not like a thing that I need. You know, I'm not like, oh man, I really gotta go out to buy some more bourbon. But you know, sometimes I miss not being able to like drink something. You know, it's less of a need thing and more of a vibe thing. Sometimes you just have one of those days when you need a drink. Yeah, not even like in an alcoholic way, but more in like a spiritual way. No? I don't know what you said no to, so, okay. Okay, let's see. And here. No, alcoholic drink. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I do need to try other things. I still have that list of recommendations for alcohol that you gave me a while ago, like soju and such. Okay. Then... You should ask Alex. He was a bartender. Oh, really? Huh. Okay, I'll have to pick his brains about it when I get the chance. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna copy and paste this layer. I'm gonna turn this into like a kind of whiter layer, a whiter color. Really bump up the saturation and turn it into a whiter color. Nah, I think it needs to be kind of like this electric blue. Although maybe more saturated would be better. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so then what I'm thinking right here is we add another thing on top of this. That was kind of like... Okay, so Powder Delta to me always felt like this, kind of like very deep blue like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it like this. I really hate these lines. Like these ones like this. These have vexed me since like Milk Money days. Alright, these have vexed me for longer than I've known what Photoshop was. Gotta head out. Take care, yes? Will do. Have a good evening, then. Okay. Oh, posture check and hydrate. Will do. Okay. Yeah. I think it's one of those situations where I just gotta go for it instead of worry about how I can do it most efficiently. I think that happens a lot where, you know, even if I don't do things the most efficiently, if I spend too much time worrying about how to do it more efficiently, I feel like I'll lose time. Sometimes you just gotta brute force it a little bit. Okay, then from here, this is gonna go like... I'm gonna need a big eraser for this one. Maybe like this. No, hang on. What about... Okay, maybe a little bit more like this. Oh man. Okay, I need to go like all the way out here, huh? Okay. There we go. Okay. Then from here, we're just gonna kind of, we will just kind of try to follow these lines a little bit. Very loosely, honestly. Okay, and then double down like that. I need a smaller eraser that I can switch to, but you know, I can do that manually a little bit. That's not really an issue. Okay, increase the brush size a little bit. Now that we're done fine-tuning, we can, you know, go a little bit more loosey. There we go. But yeah. Oh yeah, apparently recently it was the birthday, it was the anniversary, it's not the birthday. I keep saying birthday instead of anniversary, and that's gonna come back to bite me one of these days. Yeah, it's the birthday of World War II. No, apparently it was the anniversary a couple of days ago. It was the anniversary of the first ever submarine to make it to the North Pole. Yeah, it was the USS Nautilus. It was a nuclear sub, and it went to Polar Bear Land. It went to Santa Claus Land. Man, nuclear submarines have always seemed like such a bad idea. Like, first of all, if that thing starts melting down, there is nowhere to run. Like, where are you gonna go? Outside? Come on. But second of all, like, you know, I feel like even if it doesn't melt down or anything, I feel like being that close to machines that powerful isn't good for you mentally. I mean, you know, when you think about nuclear reactors, you think about it like, oh man, that must be so dangerous on account of like the radiation. But it also must create a lot of noise. That feels like the idea with a submarine and spaceships in general. But yeah, I feel like if you're in a submarine, there's just no way to escape the noise. You know, there's always like something clunking in the background. And that must suck. Well, I imagine they must have found like ways to dampen the sound at least a little bit. There we go. I remember one time my dad and I accidentally caught The Hunt for Red October on TV. It's a movie based on a Tom Clancy novel. It was actually the first book that introduced the character of Jack Ryan, I think. Jack Ryan ended up getting his own like Amazon like television show or something. But it's really funny seeing him in comparison to that in this context, because he's really just like this very out of his element nerd who constantly gets into shit that he shouldn't. The guy with the series, yeah. I think that I don't know if that describes Jack Ryan or Tom Clancy, but yes, both of them. Yes to both, I think. Yeah. What was I thinking about? Yeah, anyway, if you've never seen the Hunt for Red October, it's essentially a movie about a Russian submarine. This was during the Cold War. Or at least it was set during the Cold War. It was a Russian submarine that had a new kind of attachment on it, which allowed it to essentially go through underwater passages, basically undetectable by sonar, because the drive itself. All I know about Hunt is that clips of it have been used in SpongeBob. If my memory serves me correctly, I would believe that. I would believe that. I feel like Tom Clancy would allow SpongeBob to have clips of the movie that he technically wrote. Yeah, all I knew about Red October before I watched the movie was that apparently Tom Clancy got into a little bit of problems with the CIA because the depictions of the submarines in his book were too accurate. You know, he essentially brained together the layout of a US military nuclear sub without any kind of help or without ever being on one himself, and the CIA was like, hey buddy, how the fuck do you know that? But yeah, that was very funny. Like, the CIA just shows up at his house one day and was like, okay, so like, we're not allowed to tell you what you've exactly done wrong, because if you don't know, then if you do know, we'd have to kill you. That must have been a very awkward conversation. I imagine a lot of charades must have been involved. I mean, how secret can this classified information be if a man can guess it correctly? You would be surprised. Sometimes it just takes a good bit of logic to get around that. Obviously, this guy's some kind of military genius. I mean, I don't know. I don't know too much about Tom Clancy's personal life, but I do know that, like, he is actually surprisingly smart. Well, I think surprisingly is a bit hurtful. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. You know, first of all, you don't write that many books without being able to, you know, grease the gears a little bit yourself. You know, I imagine that a lot of his research must have been into, like, I don't know how to put it. If eventually you research something enough, you are able to put together things logically for something else. I think that's the best way that I can describe it without getting into too many details. I imagine the way it went was that he first researched submarines, and then he kind of thought about, okay, so given the kind of average structure of a submarine, how would I lay this out most obviously? That sounds like science? I mean, I guess it is. Okay. Okay, and then we have these parts here. Okay, so... Ooh, how are we doing this? Okay. Wait, did I put down Dana anywhere? Okay, I have Jill with a G here. Where's Dana? Where's Boss? Where's Dana? Oops. Accidentally switched to Gabby's picture. Alright. And over here. I mean, it also depends on how you determine science. If science is just like being very smart or being able to get stuff, forgot the boss. Forgot to get the boss into the drinky. Okay, then maybe... Okay, so Dorothy is right here. Ooh, I'm starting to second guess these colors. Oh well, in for a penny, in for a pound. Okay. Something here too would be nice. Yeah. Something about this color combination is throwing me off. Drink some more water. I think I've said this before, but I love your poses in your art. Oh, thank you. Okay. Yeah, that means a lot. Whenever I say that means a lot, I can't help but remember this stupid joke I read one time, where there's a crowd at this funeral, and they ask the lead mourner to kind of step in and you know, give the eulogy, and the guy just goes up to the podium and says plethora, and then he steps off the podium, and the other person and the kind of usher says to them, "Thank you, that means a lot." It's one of those stupid jokes, but like it's I like it a lot. Yeah, chiste agrio we call them in Spanish. It's a pun. I guess it's the best way to say it. It's a pun. Okay. Oop, I missed a spot here. Okay, so that's Alma. This would be... I imagine this is Anna. I see her smug face behind the twin tail there. Okay, so I guess Dana should probably be in this bubble right here. I need a thinner brush. I know the joke you were referencing, but for some reason I kept thinking of beaucoup instead of the English word that means a lot. Beaucoup. Merci. Okay, Alma. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, do I have everybody? Hang on. Okay, Dana, Jill with a G, Alma, Dorothy, Gabby, Anna. Okay, yeah, we're good. We've got everybody. Maybe I'm just stalling for time so I don't have to clean up these, like, these smudges here, but, whatever. Yeah, I think I need a different color for this kind of huge, blue thing here. Maybe I don't even need the huge blue thing. Maybe that's just, maybe I could, like, have, you know, maybe I could suppress it a little bit once I have more of this here, but it just works to have something to work against, you know, something to contrast with. Yeah, I think this is the best way I can work it for the moment. We can worry about this, we can sort the details in a little bit. Okay, then right here. Yeah, when I heard merci beaucoup, I thought it was spelled like mercy beaucoup, like boku. That is not thin enough to write with. Boku, like like Boruto, but with Goku. That's how I thought Boku was spelled. First of all, that's how it should be spelled, because I've mentioned this before. French is absolutely horrendous for adding vowels where there needs to be none. As a Spanish speaker, I'm familiar with adding vowels here and there. Close enough. The French added way too many vowels. Yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly. Same. Same brain. Yeah, no. Like, it still pisses me off that apparently to write bird in French, it's pronounced oiseau, but it's written like oiseau, like that. That has every fucking vowel in the alphabet, and it's still... it's just... it feels wrong. Oiseau, or plural oiseau. Yeah. God. I should have bullied my French teacher harder when I was in middle school. I regret not doing that. Honestly, you know, a lot of the question you have, a lot of the times when you have, sometimes we just need to throw a Y in there to get a hat trick. Yeah, exactly. God. I remember that was I remember that you can use Y as a vowel in some words, but I only know that because of Homestuck. God, but yeah, you know, a lot of the times when people get put this question, right, like, if you could go back in time and redo one thing, you know, if you could do it all over again, would you? And I would say absolutely, because now I know that as a child, there are literally zero consequences to my actions. Like, I'm not saying I would have gotten into more fights, but I would have gotten into more fights. Yeah. Or, you know, maybe I would have been mad, maybe I would have been using time travel for the right reasons. Violence. Yeah, I mean, listen, we're all gonna die someday. Time travel, murdering somebody with a time machine just means that they die at a slightly different time. How much could that change? I feel like that could be a really good detective novel. Like, I feel like time travel You know, you hear I know there's in mystery writing there are these what do you call 3 rules or something. There's a set of rules, quote unquote rules. You know, obviously rules are there to be broken, but essentially they are kind of rules written down to kind of instruct in writing a cohesive detective story. So for example, you know, for example, one of the rules is that the murderer can't be some fucking alien from outer space. You know, it has to be somebody that is, you know, if the killer isn't present in the book at all, you've written a bad detective novel. You know, it's that kind of thing. And which is perfectly sensible advice. But the thing is, I feel like you could do a lot if you try to use time travel. Yeah, you gotta give the hints, give the audience a chance. Exactly. You know, I've never written a detective novel, but I feel like if I had, you have to give the audience a fair shake. God, I remember one event in Fate Grand Order. I used to play Fate Grand Order. If you've never heard of it, it's a gacha game based on the Fate franchise, along with other properties in the same universe. And one of the events in that game was a short mystery that you had to play through. So essentially, you were teleported into this alternate reality where a lot of the characters from your world were played certain roles. And spoiler alert, the way that they fucking got you was because they kind of capitalized on the fact that you were kind of expecting the characters from your universe to act the same in this alternate universe. But the fact is, like, for example, this one character who had a lot of themes about motherhood, she ended up being the younger sister character, not the mother of a family, and that throws off the entire deduction game. It was really fascinating how they did that. I thought that was, even though I felt like that was bullshit, I was actually very, you know, I feel like in a good mystery, even if you don't get it right, you still feel kind of excited figuring out who the killer was. Because even if you aren't, quote unquote, you know, even if you didn't win, so to speak, you still get excited because you go like, oh man, that's clever. You know, it's kind of like that. I feel like that's I think that's true for most things, you know. I feel like even if you don't get there, get what you came for with a lot of different works, if you can make your audience say like, oh man, that is really clever, at any point, I think you've done a good job. Just like when I read Encyclopedia Brown books as a kid, I used to read those too. Man, those are actually quite fun. I remember having a lot of fun with them. Mainly, I didn't even care about getting right who did what or who did what. I mainly liked them because they had a lot of strange trivia that I also really enjoyed. For example, I remember in one of the books, it was about this one character who was part of a local delinquent gang that was essentially trying to intimidate others by saying that he'd learned karate or some kind of, you know, this was during the 80s when you know, a lot of the people in the US thought like the East Asian countries would take over the earth. So this had a little bit of racism in it. Anyway, well, it's not even racism. I think okay, so the gist of it is that a dude from a local delinquent gang learned a East Asian martial art that essentially let him nerve pinch somebody, and they went directly down, and he used this to intimidate a lot of people. And eventually they figured out that every single victim that he'd nerve pinched was actually faking it. You know, it was all they were in on the hustle because they were falling forwards instead of backwards. Apparently, if you fall down, you either just kind of like fall backwards or kind of down directly. You don't fall forwards, you fall backwards if you truly drop unconscious. And while I have my doubts about that right now, you know, kind of saying that out loud, I have my doubts about that. I loved reading about that kind of stuff. I loved knowing like these little bits of trivia from the book. I'm still a big trivia buff in general. It's just cool to know these kinds of things. Okay. Let's see, right here. Yeah, weird. I love learning weird facts from books. Anyway, I was gonna say that the whole nerve pinch thing might have actually been loosely based on dim mak, which itself has kind of a hilarious history. Alright, so dim mak, also known as like the touch of death, is a completely made up martial art, specifically made up by this one dude who called himself Count Dante. And I'm actually gonna get a picture of this guy in here because he looks really, really funny. So Count Dante was this dude. He was the best way I could put it is that he was a media personality. Here's a picture of him on the left here. This is the guy. So Count Dante was a very famous martial artist in the 80s. This was when karate and everything was kind of in full swing during the 80s. I think his thing was that he went to, I think, China for a while to learn martial arts, and then he learned this, you know, supposedly secret art that was passed on from master to student, and now he brought it to the US. And the whole thing about dim mak was that it used like nerves and everything. You know, it was like one of those like nerve-based martial arts, but it wasn't real. Yeah, the mustache. Yeah, the mustache is glorious, I will say. Like, this dude was a complete asshole, but he had a pretty sweet stash. I mean, look at that thing. Look at the beard. Look at the goatee. Oh, hey, here's an ad for it. Here we go. Yeah, Count Dante, the deadliest man alive. Yeah, I have a love-to-hate relationship with this guy. Anyway, so yeah, dim mak, the death touch. His whole thing was that he quote-unquote learned this. Yeah, it's really... Well, it's less funny when you learn that apparently he killed a couple dudes. Essentially, he ran his dojo like a gang. You know, he actually... It essentially escalated to gang wars with other dojos in the area. Like, this guy definitely killed people. So, less funny when you realize that. But he is, like, everything else about it is just absolute comedy. But yeah, I think it might have been loosely based on that. Anyway, dim mak had this whole thing where, like, it used, like... I don't remember if it used chi or if it was just nerves. But it essentially said that it could knock people out with a single touch. That's why it's called the touch of death. Of course, it also had actual fighting elements mixed in. Like, the thing is, Count Dante was definitely a fraud, but he was a fairly good fighter. Is the thing. Like, as far as fraudulent martial artists go, he was actually pretty good. And so he essentially stopped switching over to this tab. I'm tired of seeing his face. Essentially, he would bullshit his students with like the whole dim mak thing, but he also did actually teach them martial arts. You know, for a given value of martial arts. A lot of people say that, oh yeah, if you just beat the crap out of people, that's not martial arts, that's just violence. But you know, he did teach them how to fight, so that you know, at least a lot of them paid got what they paid for, you know. So on that regard, at least it's a little better than some fraudulent martial arts. Yeah, it's something. That's exactly my feelings towards it. It's something. You know, it's not like those, like... I don't know if you've ever seen those videos. There are videos of these dudes who have these quote-unquote martial arts where they focus their chi and essentially, like, brain beam people into being unconscious. Those guys are complete assholes. Those guys have zero... You know, those guys are, like, nothing. Yeah, I think we've all seen that video of like this dude who you know, kind of like telekinetically makes people go down. A lot of it is, first of all, paying for people to be there and to pretend to get knocked down. It's a lot of similar. It's got a lot of similar principles to hypnosis and, you know, mass hysteria almost. A lot of those like quote unquote energy-based martial arts. Yeah. The thing is, when people talk about like chi and internal energy in the context of like Chinese martial arts, they are literally just talking about breathing. Chi is breathing. That's it. Chi is breathing. You know, they talked about meridians and such, and you know, I think that was also, you know, yeah, in its strictest, yeah, chi is literally just means breathing in Chinese. In its strictest, most direct translation, it just means breathing. It's how you breathe. You know, that could mean anything. That could be like diaphragmatic breathing. That could be, you know, maintaining a steady breath while doing martial arts. It could be anything. But a lot of people, partly because of Dragon Ball, partly because of, you know, just the exoticization of Asian culture, they pretend it's like this cosmic energy that, you know, only the select chosen few can actually perceive. And, you know, it's all just bullshit. Chi originally just meant how you breathe. It's just breathing. But the thing is, right, a lot of the ideas behind internal energy, like I said, chi did actually bleed over, even in Chinese culture, chi did bleed over into different things. So, for example, traditional Chinese medicine, also imagines chi almost as a kind of energy pathway. Like a lot of traditional Chinese medicine, particularly acupuncture. I'm speaking specifically about acupuncture in this regard when I'm talking about traditional Chinese medicine. Acupuncture is about acupuncture uses these made up energy pathways in the body called meridians, and the idea is that if your meridians are blocked or in any kind of way, your chi actually can't flow through your body correctly. So your breathing is disrupted, and that's bad because you need to breathe to live. So the kind of goal of acupuncture is to clear out those blockages by, you know, applying a specific pressure to those meridians with the needles. Now, there's actually a little bit of scientific research that has gone into acupuncture. So, first of all, acupuncture is not useless. That's the first thing I am going to say. Like, acupuncture does have legitimate uses because, first of all, in a lot of tests that were conducted, a lot of patients did feel much better after they did acupuncture. They felt much more relaxed, and while that doesn't necessarily mean they were cured, you know, it doesn't mean they were cured. It didn't help with the health in any way. Being relaxed is kind of an understated benefit. I think there was also a little bit of research that showed that acupuncture helped combat arthritis. So in terms of pain relief and relieving pain, it does have actual basis. So acupuncture can help you relieve pain. However, it cannot like heal you, right? It's not medicine. It doesn't have any antibacterial properties. It doesn't have any kind of miraculous healing properties. It's just needles, right? It's more pain relief than healing. Yeah, exactly. However, that being said, there are some concepts from the way that I've learned it is that apparently in a lot of Chinese martial arts, a lot of this mysticism, you know, that has been kind of touted around by different sources over the years, was again not just kind of like the fetishization of Asian culture, although that did have a hand in it, but it was also just visualization techniques in their original context. So, for example, another thing with this kind of idea of an invisible energy flow in your body was the idea of a dantian. So the dantian is the kind of well of energy in your body. It's where your chi is, essentially. You could think of your chi as like water, and you can think of dantian as a kind of container for that water. Now, what's interesting is where the dantian is supposedly located. Now, the dantian is supposedly located slightly below your belly button, which turns out is also where your center of gravity is. So what's kind of been put together over the years is that these older kind of systems use that idea of there being like this well of energy right where your center of gravity is to enhance the power of your punches, because that's how you throw a better punch. You use your center of gravity. You punch from your center of gravity to punch harder. So it wasn't really so much a, well, maybe not exclusively some kind of esoteric belief, but it was also a visualization technique to help teach you how to punch better. So yeah. There's a reason for everything is the thing. There's no, they don't just make up bullshit for the sake of making up bullshit for a lot of these things. There has to be some reason that people do the rituals that they do. It's just that for a lot of things, those rituals have either proven to be, kind of superseded by modern science, or, taken out of their original context, which is why they are no longer in use. So now we know about the center of gravity. Now we know about the principle of the kinetic chain, and that's what boxers learn. They don't learn like, oh yeah, you store up the chi in your dantian and then you release it all when you punch. They learn that if you transfer energy from your leg to your waist and then to your arm, you punch harder. Because that's first of all, that's much less esoteric, it's much more accessible, and it has a lot of basis in science. So, that's why it's much more attractive as a way of learning. But yeah, that's my little ramble about martial arts for today. Also, I was going to say that apparently meridians may not be... Okay, so meridians were an incorrect belief. So there was a mistaken belief that you had meridians in your body. However, they actually did find that there is something similar that is stimulated by acupuncture, which is like this membrane in between your muscles. I'm not sure what... I don't remember super well. It's been a while since I read the Wikipedia article. But essentially, there's supposedly like this membrane that was only recently discovered that actually does correspond a little bit with like where meridians were supposed to be in your body. It's very likely just a coincidence, but like I said, there is a small, even in the most twisted beliefs, I think there is like a small grain of reason. There has to be like some kind of way that this worked for somebody, or else they wouldn't have kept doing it. We have better stuff now. There's probably like much better ways to kind of stimulate that membrane that I'm talking about. But, they did the best that they could with what they had, and I think that's admirable by itself. I should drink some water. Yeah, that makes sense. The human body is still such a mystery, to me anyways. No, we still don't know, like, oh, thank you for the posture check. Yeah, we still don't know, like, a whole lot about the human body. It's fucking weird, dude. You'd think for something that we have all our lives, and that we've studied from probably since we could study it. Brains are like electric meat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no guarantee of anything in this world. Everybody has these unique quirks, just living day to day, right, can create so many unique things in your body that something that could help you would maybe kill somebody else. Which is fascinating. Yeah, the human body is like super weird. But you learn martial arts, you try to get a feel for your own body. That's the best you can do sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, then that's gonna kind of erase around here. I wonder if I should do full line art for these. I think I can just do like freehand drawings of them. It shouldn't be too hard. They're not gonna be like, yeah, whatever works for you, exactly. Definitely always worth knowing yourself, yeah. Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. As long as you know yourself, you're comfortable in your own skin, and you don't feel in pain, I think if you've accomplished that much, you've done enough, you know? Obviously, it's great if you try to help other people, and if you try to, like, contribute to the understanding of the human body, but, you know, it's important to be able to worry about yourself first sometimes. Okay. Yeah, whenever I think about stuff like that, I always remember this one screenshot from Pokemon where Meowth, I think, has a cold, and they're telling him to rest up because evil can't prevail without being healthy. That's such a cute scene. I haven't watched Pokemon the anime in years and years and years and years, but I still see screenshots of like the modern stuff here and again. And it's always so heartwarming. You know, it's like, it's nice to have that little bit of a generational constant, you know? I don't know, listen, I don't play Fortnite, I don't know what TikTok is, I don't know anything about that. I'm 22 years young, and I have no idea about anything that the kids are into these days. I think they like Roblox, I don't know. But they definitely know about Pokemon. So, you know, at least we can rap about that. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna be the real global unifier. Pokemon. Okay. Yeah, because the thing is, right, I do like that video games are becoming much more accessible. I like that, like, nerd media in general is becoming much more accessible. Like, you know, you used to get you saying you watched anime in high school used to get you a wedgie, but you know nowadays, you know, some popular kid in your class might have a subscription to Shonen Jump or whatever, and it's great. You can talk about that without feeling super weird. I feel like people deserve to have that feeling of safety. I hear Fortnite is fun these days. I have heard that like apparently more and more virtual concerts are being held on that. Yeah, apparently, like, freaking... It's not Taylor Swift, it's some other lady. Somebody had... Okay, I know that Marshmello had a concert on Fortnite, but apparently some other lady had one. It's not Lady Gaga, it was... Ah, fuck, who was it? Yeah, there was one more besides the Marshmello. It's that lady who had, like, lollipops on her boobs or something. Those, like candy swirly candy... Ariana Grande? No, I don't. It wasn't her. Okay, Fortnite concert. Katy Perry. That's the lady. Katy Perry Fortnite. Hang on. Oh, it might not have been Katy Perry. I might be mistaken. Concert Fortnite. Okay, there was at least... Okay, Travis Scott had a concert for it. Love that you remembered lollipops on the bosoms. It was an iconic outfit, all right? I don't regret... Don't you blame me for that one. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, I do know that... Anyway. I was talking about something. Yeah, apparently Fortnite is becoming much more popular for, who doesn't remember Sweet Sweet Tits? Okay. Anyway. Apparently Fortnite and Roblox are becoming much more popular for, those kind of virtual concerts like that. which is nice. It's cool. It's cool that I don't know how to put it. I always like it when stuff that's normally kind of an exclusive event gets put over like virtual stuff. You know, like recordings of plays and stuff like that. I always think those are really cool because I feel like they give everybody an opportunity to experience it. I know that like a lot of theater purists will say like, oh yeah, you need to watch it on Broadway. Watching the recording of it is just whack. It's not the same. You are a peon for trying to do that. You know, I know that there is that crowd that believes that, but sincerely, I think if you get to experience something, even if it wasn't in its original intended format, I think that's also very important. You know, even if you don't feel like the same emotions as somebody who was there for it live, it's so cool that you can experience it at all, you know? Yeah, and not to mention, as somebody who is a notorious homebody, I just like being able to do it from the comfort of my home. Ugh. I love to be comfortable at home for events. Love it that it's easily accessible for people with disabilities, but also pirates paps. Well, I mean, that too. That's also very convenient. You know, if you pirate stuff. I lean very close into my mic, which I do not. I am a law-abiding citizen who loves to pay for content in media. Okay. And the rough eraser right here. Hard eraser right here. But yeah, it's also good for that, I suppose. You know, and if you think about it, that's also a part of accessibility. You know, accessibility can come in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it also comes in economic accessibility. Here we go. Okay. And here. Economic accessibility is so important. Yeah. Unironically that. Because, you know, you have these. Sometimes I get so excited about his sign language at concerts. Oh yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I know. It's always really cool. I feel like sign language dudes at concerts should get like. I feel like they should be also part of the costumes. I feel like they should. You know, first of all, whatever makes it most accessible, but it's also, you know, seeing that is just cool. Not to mention, you can do some really fun stuff with it. I imagine that, like, you know, if you have the dudes doing sign language stuff, it can also become. Actually, I don't know much about sign language, so I don't know what the kind of limitations on getting funky with it is. I imagine that you have like some. You can get a little. There's these Disney ASL interpreters who honestly sell a show. I was in awe. That's awesome. Okay, yeah, that is kind of what I've been craving. Just like, you know, you have the singer onto the left, and nobody's paying attention to them. They're paying attention to this dude who's fucking throwing ASL like at 300 words per second. Yeah, when ASL interpreters get into the music, it's always great. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. That's what I think. That's what what I was picturing. Like them also getting into the music. Like it's first of all, it's cool to see them just being there, but it's also cool to see them just having a really good time. Signs are important, but what's more important is body expressions. Ah. So if you're kind of getting funky with it, then that's also almost a component of the language. I see. That's really neat. I feel like I should learn more sign language stuff. I feel like I owe it to myself, but I have a hard enough time learning normal languages. I don't want to start something that I don't want to finish. Then again, it's not like I need to learn everything about sign language, just enough to get by. Like to ask a question, you won't know it's a question until the person raises their eyebrows. Oh, interesting. Okay. I feel like this part here needs to be bent a little bit. Hang on. I need to be very careful with this part. Okay, push like this way. Okay, if this works, it's gonna be so funny. Oh yeah. Okay, alright, brush size smaller than that. I was in an ASL, so yeah, okay. I was in an ASL club in high school and I really want to crawl back. Yeah, I mean, as far as languages go, ASL is incredibly useful because, you know, if you think about it, over time, you will need it one way or another, you know? At some point, age gets to, you go deaf, it's going to be useful to be able to communicate that way. I relearned some terms for work and was actually surprised it came in handy. Yeah, that's always a good feeling. Like, when you prepare for something and it actually ends up being necessary, that always feels so good. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, what happened? Well, okay, I imagine somebody who used ASL came in and asked for the order in ASL. So I imagine that's kind of what happened, right? So that's really cool. I'm glad it came in handy for you. Okay, this is gonna kind of cut in like this. No, not just losing hearing speech. Like, love that people are teaching their babies ASL so they can understand them before they learn to talk. Oh, that's so cute. I wonder how easy that is compared to, like, normal language. I imagine it must also be good for the babies because, you know, I know that making babies, like, do hand signs is actually really good for like motor skill development. Wish you could see that, but you've never seen a baby. That's true. I don't know about babies. Babies aren't. I don't know that babies exist, honestly. Okay. This bag of rice has never seen a baby before. I know they're small, pink, and loud. Okay, and also they like heavily liquefied foods. I know these things. I've read about babies, but I've never seen one in real life. Small, sometimes wet, for various reasons, I hear. You know, they spilled something on themselves, they pooped themselves. Babies are just kind of moist. Babies are just in a perpetual state of being kind of moist. Or if you catch them fresh, they can be very wet. Catch them fresh? No, come on, the stork delivers them. I'm kidding. I know about the birds and the bees. Please don't do this to me on my own chat. Okay. And then, yeah, you know, what's up? Okay. I wasn't thinking of that. Oh. Babies have a mandatory clamminess meter that never reaches 0. Yeah, you don't get to be dry until like well into your teenage years, and even then you get super sweaty. Yeah, that's why as a kid you love playing in the rain, because you kind of return to that natal state of being perpetually wet all the time. You know, you see kids jumping into puddles and they love going into the rain. That's because they crave that clamminess. God, I hate the fact that kids are sticky and smell like sweet dirt. Ah yes, sweet dirt, the sweetest of all edible dirts. I don't know why, but when you said sweet dirt, Once adults learn of dryness, they instantly abhor wetness. Yeah, it's like that thing, you know, like when you're a kid and you don't want to take a shower because you don't want to be wet, and then you take a shower and it's great and you don't want to get out. Same deal, you know. It's like the reverse of that. Just remembering Pav's dry ass rice hands. Oh yeah, you want some dry hands ASMR right now, buddy? Yeah, got a lot of that shit. What are you... You're going to start a fire. What are you doing? I'm rubbing my palms together like a fly. What's that, sandpaper? I don't think my hands are that dry. I didn't think they were that dry. Really living up to the bachelor life, huh? Put some fucking lotion on. I don't need lotion. My palms are perfectly healthy. God damn. I've been here a while, but the salt ashiness from in the comment. Damn, Bunny just out here to kill me, huh? But Bunny was like, you know what? I remember Monday was pretty good. Let's end this man's life for real this time. Monday was good, but we didn't finish the job. Oh my god. Oh, that was really good. Why are you so dry? Why is he so ashy? What can I say except you're welcome? Thank you, buddy. Okay. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do is okay, how are we for time, first of all? Okay, we got about half an hour. I might not finish this today, unfortunately. However, we will try to get far. Is that gonna leave a gap here? No, it will not. Nice. Oh, is this why you're white? You're ashy? No, I'm white because I'm a bag of rice, and my body is mochi. Let's see. Well, I don't know. Is mochi dry? I think mochi can be dried. I know there are these, like, mochi snacks that are supposed to be like, really, really dry. You're supposed to be able to cook them over a fire to make them a little easier to chew. Are you rice-filled mochi, technically? I don't think I am. I mean, this top part of my head is like a bag of rice. Like, it's just kind of perched on top of a whole thing of mochi, which is my body. So, I don't think I'm technically rice-filled mochi. Although I feel like rice-filled mochi wouldn't be, like, super tasty. Like, from a logistical standpoint, I feel like it's just too many of the same texture, you know? Mochi is sweet, rice is not particularly sweet. I feel like it wouldn't be a good match. Logistically speaking, I don't think like rice-filled mochi would be particularly tasty. Oh, dry rice inside of mochi. Yeah, I don't think you can eat that. The ultimate unpleasantness. Yeah, love the crunch. Okay, then... Hang on. I gotta figure this out here. Boop. 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 Come on, bud. Cooperate, goddamn you. Okay. Well, I like the fact that they're kind of disconnected like this. I feel like they should all be slightly connected, like with this red bit, because it just looks better. Alright. Hang on. Okay. And then how do we connect these three? Okay, I think I'm onto something here. God, I don't know what the worst mouth texture for me is. I think the worst possible mouth texture for me is when I'm eating something soft and then I bite something hard. You know, even if it's like supposed to be like, oh yeah, it's soft on the outside, but it's crunchy on the inside. I don't like that. It reminds me to, or I think bones are probably like my least favorite texture. My grandpa, I'm convinced that my death is going to be caused by like me choking on a fish bone at some point. Like for a long time at least, I was convinced that I would have my karmic death through a fishbone choking incident, because that's how my my pop almost went out. Found out minus rice noodles. It's coarse hair in my mouth. The only good way of combining crunchy and soft is crunchy outside, soft inside. Exactly. That you get it. You get it. But yeah. I'm pretty sure, like I said, because my grandpa almost died by choking on a fishbone, I'm convinced that that's how I'm gonna go out. Like, that's gonna be one of the potential ends to this sordid story of my life. Okay, all these kind of connect together in that way, except for this one here, and for this one I can just kind of go like this. It's easy, just avoid fish as food. Or just eat salmon, yeah. But I like sushi. Dies before being domesticated? You mean getting married? I don't know, like... Okay, I was doing a bit there. Oh, sushi is fine. Yeah, that's true. Also, yes, that's what I do mean. Okay, cool. Okay, what I need is to increase the brush size, like, even more. Marriage is domestication, huh? Well, you know, it worked for Shrek, so... Why shouldn't it work for me? I meant it as a cat way. Oh, I see. I don't know, I see you as a little creature. I don't know how to take that. Perhaps fits in the palm of my hand. I am very small, that is true. Okay. I think I'm gonna need to rearrange also how these squares come together. Squish him? No, please don't use me like a stress ball! My insurance doesn't cover injuries from crushing. In the harmful way, wait, like those babies, you know? Plastic head, soft squishy body? Squish him? Why does everybody want to squish me? No! Vex? Et two ghost person? Everybody just standing in line to get a chance to squish me like Mochi. Alright. Yeah, hey, how you been doing, Vex? Nothing personal, Paps. I'm taking it a little bit personal. But yeah, how you been? It's been a while. Lurker's come out of the woodwork demanding that he be squished. Good? Oh, hey, that's great to hear. Fucking everybody, you know, like me normally talking about martial arts, utter silence. Me talking about getting squished. Fucking everybody. 1,000,000% interaction. 70 billion views on YouTube. No, instant platinum play button. Lines around the block to squish this man. Okay. Whew. That was fun. We have our needs. I also have needs. I have the need to not be squashed. Alright, and then Dana up here. You know, yeah, that is, I say that I'm not gonna let you guys squish me. The fact is that is the fifth hidden tier in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You know, you have the normal boring ass pyramid with physiological, safety, whatever the fuck here, but there's a secret fifth component that he never released. I gave him a wedgie in 5th grade, and then he told me. And there's like this fifth bit up here, and this fifth bit up here is called squishing Pabs. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to tell you guys this, but he knows that I can beat him up, so he's not gonna say shit. Also, I'm pretty sure that Maslow is dead, so I think that kind of puts any damper on any kind of plans of vengeance he may have had at any point. You killed him? No. Not on purpose. No, I'm kidding. I had nothing to do with the death of Maslow. Is he alive? What is this guy? Abraham Maslow. Oh, he actually looks like a pleasant old grandpa, dude. Oh, yeah, he died in 1970. He's like way gone. He's like way gone. All right, get out of here, Grandpa. We got shit to do, unfortunately. Okay. No time for Grandpa fun pics. All right. So then the thing is, right? Oh, hang on. I think I have an idea for how to make really make this bang. All right. I'm gonna create a selection from this layer, and then I'm gonna move it like right over here. Oh wait, no, hang on. Okay, how do I move a selection? Control this? Yes! Okay. Oh wait, no. Wait, I got it. Hang on. I know what I need to do. Okay, go over here. Maybe around here? Yeah, this would be interesting. Anyway, then I go to the apply transformation. Sure, why not? Does that vanish this? Anyway. Then I go to this layer here. Boom. There we go. I am so smart. Okay, then I have to do that again, though. Right around here. Yeah, big brain shit, right? Anyway, okay, so let's finish this layer for a second and then go over here. Okay, then around here maybe? Yeah, okay. We'll use a rough eraser on this layer here. Look at that. Oh, wait, hang on. That... Okay, I think it might have looked better before I did that. Yeah, okay. I can do the rest of this by hand. I think. Probably. Pretty sure. Okay. Anyway. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Anyway, we were talking about Katy Perry's weird outfit the other time, and that reminds me that apparently a recent news story that I read was that there was this dude who was buying... Okay, so... Amazon Marketplace, right? Believe it or not, you don't need to actually have like a business license or anything to sell stuff on Amazon. You just need to be able to sell... You just need to be able to supply a certain amount. So what some dudes did was that they actually bought a huge pack of Dum-Dums, like the lollipop, the Dum-Dums, from Sam's Club, this wholesaler supermarket. And they bought it there for $15, and they resold it on the Amazon Marketplace for $25 a box. So essentially, after all the shipping costs and everything, they were pocketing a cool $6 per sale made. Which I have to say is actually kind of hilarious. Yeah. Like, honestly, I'm kind of proud of those guys. Honestly, good for them. I mean, obviously it sucks that they're like charging more than they should for lollipops. I think that's a crime against humanity. But at the same time, anything that hurts Jeff Bezos, I think, is kind of a moral win overall. He says, streaming from the website that Jeff Bezos owns, "We should improve society somewhat. And yet you're a Twitch streamer. Very curious. I am very intelligent." Here we go. Okay. Yeah, wouldn't it be crazy if somebody did that exact same thing? Like, the thing is, I think Amazon can't even really get mad at them because I don't know if they actually did anything wrong, because, like, theoretically speaking, that's just how business works. You buy something cheap and then sell it for more money than you used to buy it with. You know, that's how retail works. Like, I don't think these dudes technically did anything wrong. The basics of business, exactly. Come on, I thought... can't y'all respect the hustle a little bit? Come on. Be chill. Don't be a fucking narc. Alright. How about here? Yeah, they could have been making $9 per sale if the fucking dudes the squares at Amazon weren't such fucking narcs. Now I'm imagining some kind of twisted reality where the hippie archetype isn't associated with the left wing, but rather the right wing, where you just have these like ultra liberal type motherfuckers running around like, yeah, dude, free market capitalism. That feels like an even worse reality than the one we live in now. To be fair, like the whole hippie aesthetic has been commodified to the extent that is essentially what happens these days. Like neoliberal hippies. Yeah, I think you're talking about tech bros. Exactly. That's like I said. Like the hippie aesthetic has been co-opted. Like you see these dudes trying like. The thing about Silicon Valley and all this tech bro bullshit is that a lot of it is heavily reliant on a cult of personality. So what ends up happening is that these dudes who like make themselves out to be like coding Jesuses, essentially, I want to say swindle a bunch of potential investors into buying into their crappy idea, which they swear is like going to be the next Uber, but for cat litter, dude. I feel like that's a real business pitch somewhere. Uber, but for cat litter. Yeah, if you see a dude in San Francisco suddenly pitching the idea, suddenly starting a Kickstarter for a rideshare service where you have litter boxes in the backseat for your cat, you know who to contact so I can see the pants off of him. All right. Although to be fair, I do remember reading this one text post where this person got this litter box on wheels for their cat because I think they like needed the storage space, so they wanted to be able to wheel out the litter box whenever they needed it. And this unfortunately made the cat aware that it could pull itself around while it was still in the litter box. No. And I quote, "He just roams around like some kind of Mad Max warlord in his little poop chariot." I don't remember the exact context, but I do remember that one sentence, like very clearly. Mad Maxian poop warlord. The ultimate mobile shitlord. Ah yes, as opposed to the imperfect mobile shitlord. God. Man, if you haven't been on Tumblr for a while, they've started putting out these ads for a, shall we say, men's grooming service called Manscaped. And the funniest fucking thing happened the other day. So, to be in the interest of full disclosure, and so this next bit makes sense, Manscaped specializes in selling, what do you call? They are... what's it called? Epilatory devices? Shaving? Electrical razors. They sell electrical razors specializing in like men's pubic grooming. Barely heard about that, huh? Yeah. Wait, no, what? Anyway, I don't know what you're getting at with that, so I'm just not going to respond. Anyway, Manscaped had a bunch of ads on Tumblr, and the problem is that for one of these ads, for some reason, I got that error message that said that this image goes against Tumblr's user guidelines. So these dudes who were making these ads that were blowing up the entire website accidentally made an ad that tripped Tumblr's porn ban. I meant the ad. Barely heard about that, right? Huh? Oh, I see. Oh, okay, now I understand what you mean. Anyway, but yeah, the advertisement apparently triggered Tumblr's nudity censor bots, and it just resulted in like this whole thing of a bunch of images being censored for this advertisement that these people paid for. Unfucking believable. How are we for time? I'll get about 20 minutes. Okay, I think we're definitely going to need to finish this off next week. I don't think we're getting this done today. Free ad blocker. Ooh, but now this kind of part here is there. They let that Pikachu run around like that, but paid advertisements... That Pikachu run around like that? I don't... Oh my god, I remember the Pikachu man. Okay, I remember what you're talking about now. God, I forgot about the Pikachu guy. That guy haunts my nightmares. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, hang on, I gotta pull up a picture of this. Where is he? Come on. Where are you? Okay. Here's a meme of him. But yeah, it was this dude who had like this fucked up Pikachu costume. And he was on every advertisement. I never understood why Tumblr has advertisements for Tumblr on Tumblr. Well, this is coming from a guy who has a shirt, who wears constantly a sweatshirt that says Pabs on it. I feel like I'm throwing. Why did he do the nose so small? I don't know. I don't know. You want me to step into this psychopath's mind? You want me to you want me to Will Graham this motherfucker? There's no coming back from that. That'll break a lesser man, let alone me. Alright, anyway. That absolute freak ass aside. This is actually coming up pretty well. I like how this is coming out. I did want to increase the saturation for this. And maybe the luminosity a little bit. No, but wearing a shirt with your name on it is funny. It's like announcing yourself and nobody will know. They're like, oh hey, is that like a new fashion brand? No, it's my name. It's like that Vine where like some dude walks up to a lady and he's like, hey, did anybody ever tell you look like Beyonce? No, they tell me I look like Lakeisha. Who's Lakeisha? Me, bitch. Here comes Pavs the Third. Yeah, Pavs 1 and 2. I'm not supposed to tell you guys this, but Pavs 1 and 2 did exist, and they were experimental creations by the Sun. Unfortunately, they had to be put down. And by put down, I mean that they literally had to be left to scurry the wasteland. They weren't intelligent like me. They weren't sapient like me. Yeah, they're just somewhere out there scurrying and living freely. God, I wish that were me. They've been cooked? No! Oh my god! You fucking cooked them? And you didn't share? Unfucking believable. My sworn, possibly blood brothers. I don't know if I have blood. Honestly, I don't know if I think I might be just solid mochi. I don't think I have blood. Do I have blood? Huh. Starch brothers. Yeah, my brother and Starch, you made the rice man. No, you got filling. That's terrifying, I assume. I mean, I don't know. I think the tastiest mochi I've ever had were these peanut butter filled ones, but I don't want to have like a third thing added, you know? I've already got this whole thing going on with the sun. I've got my rice thing. One more thing is just gonna spoil the broth, I think. I don't know. Filling, huh? Why would I have filling? I feel like I'm just solid mochi, toe to tip, only for special occasions. Humans don't get to choose what they're filled with, and certainly not tasty things. So why do you? Huh? I guess that's a good point. You know, maybe I'm being too picky about this. I don't know. But I do have funny little outfits that I put on for special occasions. They're called clothes. What tip? You mean neck? So no solid mochi works. Yeah, no. Anyway, I do have special clothes that I put on for special occasion. They're called my clothes. Yeah, my funny little outfits. Anyway. Yeah, one of these days I'm just gonna rock in here with a Hawaiian shirt and you guys will never see it coming. Okay, so I think what we can do is potentially get started on the shading. For Jill. I think we'll start out the shading for Jill, probably just like the shirt and maybe the clothes here. But I think after that I'll probably close out for today. Okay, hang on. I need to put these into a folder. I'll worry about these in a little bit. Oh, the post is so good. Thank you. Okay. Right. That does give me an idea for salutes you. Yeah, oh, hang on. I do this back. At ease, soldier. I should drink some water. Okay. Oh man, in retrospect, it probably wouldn't make much sense for Jill's hair to kind of flow over here. Hang on. There we go. Shift around the G pen a little bit too. Every time I excuse me. Every time I do that emote, I remember Kiryu Koko's like. I remember that when Kiryu Koko announced her graduation, a bunch of people started putting up that emote because, you know, obviously they wanted to pay respects to her. And then the first thing she said was like, "No 07s yet, motherfuckers. I'm still here." What a legend. All right. Okay, I'm gonna need to bring this up here for the moment. Okay, I think it would make most sense if the light source came from the actual liquids. She's so cool, yeah. Sometimes I can still hear her voice, and you just hear Kason just fucking swearing from the other room. Okay. Okay, so maybe like... Hang on. Yeah, I think that works. Alright. Copy and paste that. Rasterize this layer, remove the ruler. I feel like whenever I remove a ruler from a pose, it's like diffusing a bomb almost. It's like saying like, okay, yeah, this one's an nerd now. I also do think it's funny that the shadows here just kind of get cut off because she's technically floating off of the 3D plane. Okay. Alright, Jill. What you got for me? Okay, so I think that the first kind of step is to start with the hair shading. So that's going to be a slightly darker blue. Probably a watercolor brush. The thing is, I'm particularly worried about shading this time around because normally I also do it with like fill, but because of the way that I've made the lines on this one, because they are anti-aliased, I'm not sure that'll work so as smoothly as I'm used to. So I'm a little concerned about that. Hey, this one could work. Oh yeah, this one works. Hang on. Oh well, I guess I just gotta believe. Yeah, just gotta be like Parappa and just believe. I've never played Parappa the Rapper. I didn't have a PSP, and I'm really bad at rhythm games. So it was kind of failure. It was kind of mission failure from the get-go with that game. But I do like the music from it. I also remember watching the Wayne Radio TV playthrough of Parappa the Rapper, and how it just utterly destroyed the poor man. Partly because it had like audio delay issues, input delay issues. I think that's the kind of accurate term, input delay issues. Yeah, I think Parappa 1 in particular had a lot of input delay. So what ended up happening is that you needed to have not only the kind of lag from the stream, but also the lag from the game itself not properly pushing the buttons when you ask it to. So that honestly just created an extremely, unnecessarily, almost difficult game. Again, not that I would know since I've never played it, but so I've heard. You know, I've seen enough anguished YouTuber thumbnails with that game on it to know that it packs a mean punch. I would love to see a dude who kind of does a kind of a reversal of the usual YouTuber trend of playing a game because it makes you mad. So like he's just the most chill dude imaginable while playing like something like Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, but he just gets intensely pissed when playing something like Animal Crossing. I think that'll be a funny kind of person to make up in my head. Okay. I've created like... I feel like making up guys like that is the equivalent of that one comic where it's like, we taught a robot how to play the piano, but or like, we taught a robot how to scream in infinite agony forever. And they're like, but why? And the guy just kind of like rubs his chin a little bit, not sure how to answer. Because there wasn't really a reason to do it. That's also just me making original characters, though. Like, what's a good example? Like, I made this girl want to become a suave mafia boss, but she's also a complete tsundere and a weeaboo. And so her two realities can never be properly reconciled, and they're like, why? And I just kind of like shake my head like, sometimes you gotta have a little fun. That's true, that's true. Alright, hang on. Okay, then over here. I can change around the texture of this and the color to make it a bit more easy to see the shading, but so far I think this is going pretty well. I don't know how tight Jill's twin tails are. I know that some people make them tight enough to like actually hurt their head when they have them on. But it does come down to personal preference, I imagine. But hers look pretty well stuck on there. Okay, and then hang on. Let me try and change the tone of this so it gets a little bit more. It gets a little darker. Yeah, a little bit more obvious that it's a shadow. I kind of like this tone where the shading is kind of on the warmer side. Let me try that out. Oh yeah, now we're cooking with gasoline. Okay, because of the way that the shadow works, I imagine that this hair will probably be shaded pretty well up until like around here. How are we for time? A couple of more minutes. I think we can spare a couple more minutes. Maybe we'll do one twin tail. Maybe we'll just finish up right here and then we'll head on out. Yeah, I think the issue was that I had a little bit of scope creep. You know, yesterday I talked a little bit about how for a lot of these quote unquote failed indie games, or it's not even quote unquote. A lot of these are failed indie games. A lot of their issues arose from their developers, getting this traction, getting this funding, getting what they needed to make a wonderful game, and then letting their dreams kind of get ahead of them, and kind of doing something that was far beyond their technical and fiscal capabilities. I think that happened a little bit here. I think I made this piece with the intent of going okay, yeah, I'll finish it in a couple of streams. That should give me plenty of time. But I think because of that freedom that I gave myself, it ended up being even more complicated than I initially thought. which is fine. I think it's good to do one of these longer term pieces once in a while. I feel like if all you do is create pieces in a single day, you know, that happened to me when I was a kid. I used to, or, you know, when I was younger, when I was starting out, when I was still more fresh with virtual art, with digital art, more like, what ended up happening is that I actually ran out of gas very quickly, because I used to be able to crank out a drawing in a day, in less than a day, in like 3 hours maybe. Ironically enough, that's kind of what I do now. And, you know, I'd be able to be like, yeah, this is a good drawing. I'm happy with what I've drawn here. But, you know, as I got more skilled, as I started kind of getting more technical, I started being like, oh, these are taking longer and longer. And I'm getting a little bit bored, actually. And that's a dangerous thing to do, because if you start losing, if you don't build up, if you don't kind of maintain that stamina for longer term projects, I feel like it really does come back to bite you in your ass. Particularly for me, who doesn't have kind of huge long-term project stamina to begin with, having a kind of idea and being able to execute it quickly isn't just a side effect of me doing mostly art as a live streamer. It's also kind of a simple necessity, because I just don't have the stamina normally to carry on for long periods of time. And some people do have that stamina. You know, webcomic artists in particular are like my go-to example for that kind of stamina, because, you know, you think of the guy who's been like making Sluggy Freelance, for example. That dude's been making comics for literal decades. Sluggy Freelance might be older than I am. Hang on, how old is Sluggy Freelance? $1997. Sluggy Freelance is older than I am. And that dude's been, you know, save for some hiatuses, a couple of breaks here and there, that dude's been drawing that comic almost daily for the past, what is it now? Okay, 1997 minus 2022, that's 20 plus 25 years. Ah! Pikachu Man jump scare. Fuck. Oh god, that actually did get me pretty bad. But yeah, you think about that guy. He's been carrying on for 25 years like it's nobody's business. I mean, granted, it makes some money. That's how he makes. That's how they make their living. I'm not sure if the writer of Sluggy Freelance is a man or a woman, or I'm not sure about their gender. It's probably a man, but I don't know. Jump scared yourself. That happens much more often than I care to admit. My streams are essentially like a self-service jump scare for me at this point. I don't even have to wait for the five fuckers at Uncle Fester's Man to come out. I just kind of do it to myself by accident. Impressive length for sure. Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, that's what I mean when I talk about like stamina. You know, it's like, it's not only being, like I said, of course they would be very interested in maintaining it, since it's also their, what I imagine is their primary source of income. I'm not sure exactly if they have a day job, but I imagine that to some extent that comic must have made them a decent amount of cash. Even at some point in time, it must have made them a decent amount of cash for them to carry on in such a way. But that's kind of what I mean. Like, I need to give myself, when it comes to stuff that I enjoy, I do need to give myself obligations to do it. And I talk about this a lot, that live streaming has been a huge help for me, not only in, you know, kind of meeting new people. That's honestly the best thing about live streaming, is that I've just met so many wonderful people, but also in that it gives me an obligation, a reason to participate consciously in my hobbies. Because if I don't do that, I just kind of lose attention to whatever I'm making very quickly. It's difficult. It's just how I'm built, you know. It's certainly not going to be the same way for everybody, but I imagine that everybody has some struggles with kind of maintaining focus on a long-term task. And I imagine even learning curve. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I am developing stamina. Who knows? But you know, it's difficult. It's not something that comes natural to me, is what I mean. Because you know, when I've read about this, when you come home from work or when you've worked for a long time, you sit in front of the TV. You know, that's kind of like the prototypical thing to do, right? Same. I also have trouble focusing on a long task when the reward isn't close. Yeah. Yeah, because like the thing is, it's also a little bit of like a disconnect in the serotonin reward, right? Because if I crank out a 3-hour piece in a normal stream, then you know that's still I still get to look at it. I still get to see that. I get that kind of reward mechanism from finishing a piece. But not so with like long-term projects. Like that's something that I've noticed a lot in my life, is that things that I've worked particularly hard for just are not nearly as rewarding as they should be. Like I barely felt anything when I graduated university. Rather than feeling happiness, it's more like I just felt relief. You know? I don't know how to put it, and that's probably not something to unpack on stream. But you know, it's a little weird. It's like, I much prefer to have something that I can say that I've done in a small amount of time than have something that I've had going in the back burner for years and years. Like I'm a man who's all about his simple pleasures. I think that's the best way to put it. I think that's the kindest way to put it. That I love my simple pleasures. So being able to just wrap on stream for like 3 hours, finish the piece, and then go to bed, I think that's usually enough. That's enough to keep me happy. But it might not be what's best for me creatively, you know? It's a little bit like eating your vegetables at dinner. When you're a kid, at least. I like vegetables now. I love vegetables. Okay. Anyway, I think we are pretty much done with that twin tail in terms of shading. I adore instant gratification, perhaps unhealthily so. That hits a little too close to home. Anyway, I think we've finished that twin tail up for now, and with that kind of philosophical thing out of the way, let's go see. I think we can wrap up for today. Let's go see who all is. There we go. Let's go see who all is streaming so we can say hi. Fuck, I forgot that I got scared by the Pikachu man again because I opened up the browser window and I forgot that I searched him up. God damn it. Anyway. Yeah, who all is streaming? Oh, somebody's streaming. Okay, Catherine is streaming Star Wars Jedi The Fallen Order, which seems interesting. I think I've seen some dude play that on like the hardest difficulty. Twig, I remember, played that on the hardest difficulty. A curse upon you I will have casted. He was waiting for you. Fuck. I've made myself a nemesis that I cannot defeat. Ah, well, typical kind of day. Alright. Well, on Sunday, I'm going to be streaming Resident Evil 4 at the same time as always, 5:30 Eastern Time. So I hope you all come by. It's a very fun little game. I have good memories of it from as a teenager. So I hope you will come by, and if you don't, I hope you have a great weekend anyways. You know, tomorrow's Friday, so make sure to take it easy, alright? Alright. See ya. Bye.